Good. So, let's see here. Let's see. Make sure everything's. Here we go. We're there. Looks like we're doing it there. Hey, we're live on Facebook, and I'm just going to check Rumble real quick. Well, Rumble's not showing up, but we'll just go ahead and work with it. So, let me post a link in here, and I'll do this on LinkedIn. That way, people can watch there if they want to. So anyway, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. My name's Rich Melton, and this is the Joplin area 4 states networking connection. So this is our first one. So don't hate on us too bad if things don't go exactly like they're planned. So I've just got a quick statement here I'm going to read for everybody so that way we can get this out of the way. And so for the record, we are not, nor we will ever be giving legal, investment, or health advice on this channel. Our opinions are our own, and if you need those services, you should seek competent advisors in those fields. This information is presented for entertainment purposes only. You have been warned. And then the final thing I'll say before I start asking questions is the entire process, or the idea behind this event, was that basically Zig Ziglar, he has this quote that I love, and it says, you can get everything in life you want if you just help enough other people get what you want. And that's my gig. That's what I'm doing here today. That's what I'm going to do with this channel. And hopefully I'm able to help a whole bunch of people network and reach other people who then they can help. And it just kind of snowballs into a great thing. And then I get what I want, right? That's the way it works. So anyway, I want to introduce Chris and Tim. Chris, they are the guys who run the Joplin REIA, and I will let you guys tell everybody what a REIA is.
All right. Well, Rich, first of all, thanks for having us, buddy. We appreciate you inviting us on the show. So basically, what our organization is all about, it's the Joplin REIA. It stands for Joplin Area Real Estate Investors Association. And basically, a few years ago, some people got together. There wasn't really a group around here to where you could go talk about real estate and real estate investing and meet like-minded people to share ideas and different conversations about real estate investing, the goods, the bads, the uglies. So what we did was we put this group together for that purpose, so that people had a place to come and had a place to ask questions and network and get to meet some really great speakers, people who are just absolute rock stars in their fields. How's that saying go? Surround yourself with people smarter than you are. So we really enjoy our speakers. Oh my gosh,
it's easy
that
for
meeting
me.
last night. What did you think about that,
awesome.
Rich?
That was awesome.
Man, people always ask me, they're like, explain what it's like to come to your meeting. And it's hard, you can't explain the energy, the excitement in that room. I always tell people, imagine that we've all been in that corporate meeting to where you don't want to be there. Nobody wants to be there. There's a monotone speaker. You're ready to chew your arm off to get out of the meeting, right? We've all been to those meetings. Well, our meetings are the exact opposite. Nobody has to be there. People want to be there. They want to engage. They want to network. They want to increase their value. We've got our members range from just thinking about getting into real estate to guys who've been doing it for 100 years. Some pretty big cats in the group. So that's basically it in a nutshell. It's just a networking group. For people to get together and share ideas and meet new people.
Well, and I want to give you guys credit before I go to Chris, but you guys, your group, I have to admit, is probably out of a lot of the groups I've been to or been in, not just in real estate, but in everything, far more of them are actually active in doing things in that industry. I go to a lot of meetings and a lot of people, and I I go in there and I go to a meeting, and for 5 years, they're like, yeah, eventually I'm going to do this. I don't see a lot of that in your group, man. I mean, there's a kid like last night
No.
who just graduated high school or something, bought 2 houses already. And I'm like, I wish I was that kid.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
how awesome is that? I mean, he's in the right place too for success.
Rich and I
we
were
had our
talking about
youngest,
that.
youngest attendee there last night too.
Yeah,
So at one of the tables, I think he
How,
was like
how old
5 or 6 years old.
Yeah, I'm thinking he was
Yeah.
5 or 6. Could you
Yeah.
imagine, guys, if we had a meeting like this or a group like this when we were younger? I mean, could you imagine how many
Huge.
years it would have saved of trial and error and doing things the wrong
Exactly.
way? I mean, it's just phenomenal. And then you see these younger people coming in, 19, 20 years old, and we love having them. Like it tickles me to death,
Yeah,
because again, I just think, man, if I would have had these resources when I was that age, where would I be at today?
exactly. So, Chris, how did this whole thing start with you guys?
Yeah. So I have a contact that lives in the same town as I do, actually. So I live a little bit north of Joplin, and it kind of reached out to me and said Tim was doing this. COVID had kind of slowed things down, and so he basically paired Tim and I together and said, I think there's some things you guys can do. You're doing some things, and I'm on the insurance side of things. So there's some marketing and things you're doing that I think could help the group, and I think that plugging you two together would be a good idea. So we kind of got introduced, and I think we started meeting a few times, just kind of unofficially, didn't we, Tim? Kind of after the
Yeah.
COVID thing, and once
Yeah.
they've let us back in the restaurants. Yeah, so we met as a small group a couple times and decided, hey, let's look at having some speakers in, getting it out on Facebook, working the group a little bit, and getting things posted. And so that's kind of what we started doing going into 2021.
So how did it start with you, Tim? I mean, if Chris kind of was introduced to you, I mean, like when did this whole thing start rolling?
So it's kind of a funny story how it started. I was looking for a group like this, looking for somebody to network. I needed a hobby,
Right.
something to do. There's not a whole lot of things to do in our area. You can go to a restaurant, maybe some putt golf, but I was looking for something more, something with a little bit more, something to challenge my mind a little bit. I wanted to meet with people that had the same passions that I do. So I got on the internet, and at that time, John Singarius, and I'm gonna butcher his last name. Sorry, buddy. But he was running the meeting, and at that time it was a small group. There'd be 3 or 4 people show up about once a month. The meetings were real sporadic because of John's schedule, and I went the first time, and I was just like, I came home and I was telling my wife, I was like, hey, this group's so awesome. They get together and they talk about real estate and they nerd out. They're nerds like me, baby, and she's like, I thought you was looking for a hobby. And I was like, oh yeah, baby, it's just a hobby. We just meet up every once in a while. She's like, no, I know that look on your face. She's like, next thing you know, there's going to be bankers, accountants. There's going to be this. I was like, no, baby, no, it ain't going to be like that. Well, fast forward a few years and here we are. So
that's awesome.
She was right again. Don't tell her I said that.
Yeah, well, it's okay. It's only recorded forever, so you don't have to worry.
Yeah, for everybody.
So, and so, how long have you been doing this? Like 3-4 years? Then?
Yeah, roughly.
That's awesome. So, and then, what was the biggest issue for you guys getting started? I mean, really, Tim, you've probably been doing a little bit longer on that because I mean, there's always some hurdle, but I mean, COVID was enough of a hurdle, I think, for everybody. That had to really.
Oh yeah.
Because it put the brakes on the one I'm part of in Kansas City. I mean, we just went to online, and I never made it to a meeting because I'm stuck at home. It's all live streamed, and something happens, and next thing you know, it's like, oh, the meeting's over. I didn't even realize it started.
Well, in the beginning, like I said, the meetings were kind of sporadic. John was busy traveling all over the world. He's a tech guru, so he finally, we didn't have any meetings for a while, and people were wanting the meetings. So John had put out a filler and said, hey, would anybody, be interested in running these meetings? And to be honest, I thought, man, somebody awesome is going to jump up here and take the reins. Well, nobody did. It takes somebody, a special guy, to get up there and, make a dum-dum out of yourself in front of a lot of people, so it went on for a few months, and I finally called John, and I was like, John, I said, man, would you mind if I took this over? I was like, I can't just let it die. We've got a good thing going. There's a need in the community for this kind of education, so John and I had talked about it, and we got it going. And let's see, we had a few meetings. I ran a few meetings, and then bam, here comes COVID. So we didn't know what to do at that time, and that was about the time that I got to meet with Chris. But COVID knocked us out of the saddle. So basically, all we could do was, embrace Zoom,
Right.
embrace Facebook, try to keep the Facebook algorithms going, and keep everything connected. Because, as you know, at that time, it was like, well, for an organization like ours, if you don't have those live meetings, then you don't have an organization.
Yes.
But if you do have meetings, then you're insensitive to what's going on, with COVID and everything. And we certainly didn't want to put anybody at risk or anything like that. So yeah, that was a huge hurdle, but it worked kind of like a slingshot, because there was all this pent up energy. People wanted to get out. People wanted something to do. So whenever we opened up the doors again, it was amazing, the response. People were ready to get out and do it.
Right.
So we had finally taken it to that point, to where we were still just a meetup. It was still just a meetup, and Chris and I are bound and determined to constantly keep this thing growing and evolving. So the next step was to join the National REIA. So now we're members of the National REIA. Our members get all of the National REIA benefits. So it just continues to grow. It's
Which are
amazing.
huge. I mean, if you're a member, I mean, if you're not a member of the REIA that you're in, you need to be. I mean, it's worth the savings alone on different things you can get access to are worth the price of admission, I guess, is the best way to put it.
Absolutely.
Right. Easily.
So, yeah. So, and then, did anybody tell you that it wouldn't work, like when you guys first started?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of it would have been around for me, it would have been around the COVID situation. But yeah,
Right.
I mean, there was some
How's that
challenges.
working out now? I mean, are you like, you're really rubbing it in their face? I like to do that myself. That's kind of my thing. Like, oh,
Yeah.
hey, guess what? We had a great
we-
meeting last night that wouldn't work. So
Yeah.
We let our meetings speak for ourselves. I think the work that we've put into it, and anybody who comes to a meeting, I think it goes without saying that, hey, I'm the same guy. When somebody says I can't do it, it makes me want to do it twice as much.
Right. I feel you there, man. So
Yeah.
and then what you guys, I'll let you tell us real quick what you do now and how'd you find that job, and then later on we're going to talk about you guys individually, because I just want to kind of let everybody know what you do now. And then, by the way, all the links are in the comments section. If you go down there, these guys' bios are down there, links to their the REIA is there for the Facebook and page, and all the different Facebook pages and different things you can watch this stream on are down there as well. But you tell everybody what you guys do for your day jobs, and then we'll get back to the REIA. So, Chris, why don't you start, and then we'll let Tim finish.
Yeah. So for me, I'm a little diverse. So insurance is kind of what got me out of my corporate 9 to 5, and I got into insurance in 2017. And so I'm an insurance agent, but I'm hinging towards the property investment side. So I've been doing some commercial and residential buy and holds, and a little bit of residential flips. And I own a coffee shop, so I'm a little bit diverse there with what I do.
Awesome. That's got to be cheaper than just paying Starbucks all the time.
Right.
And you actually get something back.
I'm a coffee addict. Yeah.
So what about you, Tim?
Right now, I mean, I'm heavily involved in the REIA. My main thing is real estate investing. I'm an actual investor, so I've got rental properties. I do flips. I've dabbled in some owner finance stuff, but that's not really my cup of tea. They keep on paying off the houses.
Oh yeah, right. That's
so yeah. So the REIA, real estate, and then I've also got a home inspection company called Sherlock Home Inspectors. I do that. I don't advertise that a whole lot. I just do it for basically friends and family and people in need. Last year, the company's been doing great. Everything's been going good, but with the real estate market the way it is right now, like I've pretty much jumped into that full time. It's takes a lot of time and energy.
Right.
That it does. And I guess here's another question about you guys. So, and we'll go like Chris and then Tim, but if somebody's watching, wanted to follow the career path that you're on now, would you recommend doing it the same way you did it, or is there a better way? Like you could, like skip a lot of steps and maybe make the time go faster, right?
And that's Rich, that's a really good question. I'm glad you brought it up because I don't like living with regrets, but I would say this: the value of relationships, the value of partnerships, the value of collaborating is so powerful. And if you jump back 4 years ago, I knew it was important, but I didn't know how important. And so I would probably say the fast track into my career field would be just really day one, amping up and dialing in those partnerships and relationships, and kind of 10xing what I've done would make someone a lot more highly successful in my career field. So coming out of corporate, going into sales was a huge paradigm shift. And it takes a lot of relationships and a lot of partnerships and things to make things happen.
Awesome. What about you, Tim?
So what I've learned through all of my new networks in the last few years, networking is again, I'll agree with Chris 100%. The majority of my career, again, back in when I started 100 years ago, there wasn't, mentoring groups. There wasn't networking groups. It was just you against the world, So if anybody is thinking about getting started, whether it's sales, real estate, crypto, whatever it is, seek out these networking groups. If I would have known this when I got started, I could have saved myself so much heartache, so much frustration, learning everything by trial and error. Those mentors, those networking groups, your network, that is your value. That is your business. And if I would have known that years ago, we probably wouldn't be doing this interview right now, because I'd probably be in Florida or on some cool island somewhere, but live and learn. But that's what we're trying to do, is we're trying to help save everybody those mistakes that we made and show them the shortcuts that other people have learned.
Yeah. I was on a podcast about our REIA not long ago. And the question was, what could you tell someone walking into the room, the best way to get value out of your group? And it's really to give first. So if you go with the give first mentality, no matter what you do, whether you're a real estate agent, an insurance agent, an investor, or, maybe you clean houses. When you go into that room, it's what value can I give? And I know Rich does a great job with that. Every time he comes to a meeting is, what can I do? I'm here to serve. I'm here to give first.
Well, I'll be honest with you. It's one of those things where I too wish that there would have been something like this when I was younger. And I mean, the idea that, people I've heard, and I've been one of those people in the past, like a mentor, like I need to pay somebody a mentor. I mean, and not that I've paid one. I think I've spilt enough blood out there to know that things I should and shouldn't do. But unless you want to recreate those same mistakes, that's what a mentor is about.
Right.
Yes.
And I mentor a handful of people right now for free. And I never even considered charging them, because I really just care about them and their families.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the big part of it, is, being an advisor to them and saying, hey, look, you might think about, these things. And I think it's huge. I mean, I wish somebody was there when I was that age to go, hey man, you ever thought about this? More than like, what do you got in the fridge today?
Right.
And, cause like my 20s could have been really different. Like that kid last night that's got all those rentals already. I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah.
That's my kids, right?
Yeah.
From now on, that's my kids. And my kids are going to be the ones at 18 years old buying rental properties, and they'll be on that beach by the time, I'll be there with them, because they'll have to take me.
Right. And I want to say one thing is, like, we talk about the meetings, okay, and then, the monthly meeting's coming up in 2 weeks, but what we don't talk about all the time is the conversations that we have between the meetings. So last night on my way home, the calls I took, the people that text us, email us, it's great. I love it. And so it generates so much conversation, even across states. I had someone from up north, the Minnesota area, reach out to me last night after our event. just checking in on it.
Oh, nice.
So you never know where those relationships are going to be built, and who you're going to meet. So I don't know. There's so much value even in between meetings.
I agree. I think that's a good point. So, and then of course, being on the Facebook page, there's everybody tends to share some pretty good information on there too. I mean,
right.
I know there's a handful of people I know that like, I don't like Facebook, and I'm like, you can use it for good.
Yeah.
It doesn't always have to be just bad. So
absolutely.
Quick question. What do you guys need help with as far as the REIA right now? I mean, like if there's people out there watching this and going, I think I'd like to get involved in that. What do you need help with specifically?
Yeah. You want me to take that one first, Tim?
Yeah. If you want to take the lead on that one.
Yeah. So we're always looking for top-notch speakers, people that are experts in their field, from attorneys to real estate agents to investors but also it's really just engage people. So people that can come in and engage with our content, no matter what they do, what service they provide, sharing that with the group, sharing it on Facebook, letting us know what you do, connecting with us that way, really just reaching out and connecting with us. We can always find a way to plug folks in. We just did a food drive. And so we had some really great volunteers that donated some good canned goods for a local charity. So no matter what it is, whatever your interests are, I would say plug in with, Tim or I, and let us know what it is, because there's a good chance we can get you plugged into something and somebody.
Absolutely. Because it really is a network, a lot of these guys before the association, guys and gals, before the association, they didn't know each other,
Right.
And I've got so many cool stories about people making those connections and how it changed their career and changed their life. If I had to pick something we could use help with right now, I think we're doing it right now. We need to get our message out there. Facebook is great. But doing interviews like this, it helps get the word out. There's still people out there that doesn't know there is a Joplin area REIA. They don't know that this resource is available. So we definitely, would love if anybody would like to share this or go on our pages and give us any ideas. We're open to any ideas we can get. So, and then also, if they want to learn a little bit more about us, Chris will give you those contacts. But we've also got these flyers, if I can get them in there. Just gives a little bit of information on the association and all the benefits of becoming a member, and benefits of becoming a corporate sponsor. If you like what you do, or if you like what we do and you would like to help that, continue that, help us keep the lights on, so to speak. A lot of good information in here. And I've got these in most of the real estate offices in Joplin and Neosho and a few banks. So if you guys get out there to your real estate office or your bank or a place of business to where, you don't see these, give us a call and we'd be happy to get those in your hands. So getting the word out there, buddy, that's what we got to do.
Right. Well, we're going to try. So, and the last question is, how can people get a hold of you? So if you guys want to give out your contact info, it is also in the description, but if you guys want to go ahead and give the best way to reach out to you guys, if somebody does have a question or needs something.
Yeah. So for me, and really for Tim and I both, joplinareareia@gmail.com is one quick way. But 620-231-6460 will get you in contact with our staff or myself. And depending on who you're needing to contact, I'll get you in contact with Tim, or he'll get you in contact with me. We're quick on Facebook and really quick to respond there. So really, and our website, joplinareareia.com, is another great way to reach us. So we try to be a little bit everywhere when we can, and try to make ourselves readily accessible. So
any final thoughts, things we didn't cover before we call it a show on this one?
We got our next meeting coming up the first Tuesday at 6 p.m. in January to kick off 2022.
And it's always Chicago. The first Tuesday, right?
Always the first Tuesday.
Yep, always the first Tuesday.
I'm looking forward to a lot of hearing about the group's goals and what they're setting for 2022, because I know with our group, there's going to be a lot of big goals and a lot of highly set goals for the year. So we're looking forward to that.
Is that what that meeting's going to be about? Goals and goal setting?
It's going to be part of it, I'm sure.
Awesome.
We're getting ready to plan it right now. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm big on setting goals. So.
Yes. My final thought would be, like I said in the beginning of the interview, it's hard to explain the energy at these meetings. So definitely come out. If you haven't experienced the association yet, your first meeting is free, no charge at the door. Again, you pay for your own food and drinks or whatever, but the first meeting's on us. So if you guys haven't had the chance to get out, experience that energy, see what we're up to, come join us in January and let Chris or I know, hey, it's my first time. I just want to check it out, and we'll get you in.
Right. Yeah. Come by and talk to any one of us. I mean, everybody's very friendly there. I was around there last night. Of course, I'm new to you guys' group too. And I mean, everybody kind of accepted me with open arms, and I'm an ugly guy.
Yes.
So, I mean, if you're halfway decent looking, you'll blend right in. So, yeah. So
I'm the president, man. The bar's not set very high.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. With two of us standing next to each other, it's like, there's a lot of ugly in that corner. So,
but and that's it's open to everybody too. There's a lot of bad information out there. Oh, you can't be into real estate unless you're rich, or you've got to look this way or dress that way. That is all baloney. Come to our meetings and we'll show you.
You have to have 20% to buy a house.
We got people for that.
That's a good point, Rich.
I mean, I love that. Oh, I don't have the money. Oh, yeah, you probably do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, not to mention that, the owner finance options, the subject twos, all the other stuff. And if I'm saying words you don't understand, you definitely need to be at the meeting.
Yep. And partnerships. So don't, you may come in with no money down, depending on who you meet in the room.
Mm-hmm.
So,
you find a deal, you'll get a partner.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And that's the other thing about the association too, is Chris and I, we don't do this for the money or the fame or the, fast cars and all that stuff. We genuinely want to help people and help them connect. So for somebody like that, who's thinking, I've got to have 20% down, or I've got bad credit. Chris and I personally, the association, we don't give that kind of advice. But we can hook you up with people that do that, whether it's, helping get some financing. We've got a lot of great people that we work with, from hard money lenders to local banks and other mortgage companies that are really great at helping those people out.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you guys for making some time for me today and everybody else. And then if you guys, anybody watching wants to reach out to them, feel free. Everything's down there. Reach out to them, reach out to me, and then we will look forward to seeing you guys at our next meeting on the first Tuesday of every month.
Yeah, and Rich, I want to take a quick moment to thank you. Yeah, thank you for having us on.
Thank you,
absolutely.
Guys. Have a great day.
See you guys.